instantly attempting to stop the riffraff from interfering with the King of Curses after his battle with Gojo. Uraume, a 1,000-year-old monk from the Heian era, loyal to Sukuna alone, is a powerful sorcerer who we've seen time and time again deliver insanely strong and overwhelming power to defend the one they cherish most. But compared to the new big three that will be inheriting Gojo's throne, or the Thunder God Hajime Kashimo, where does a curse user like Uraume sit on the power scale? By using special information from the data book, as well as a select few moments we've seen Uraume flex their muscles, the conclusion of Uraume bridging a gap between the strongest and the other special grades will be discovered. Rather than just speculate, there are some cold hard facts here, no pun intended, that will give us a very accurate ranking on Uraume's power level. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and most importantly, thank you for watching. A sorcerer from the Heian era. Although Uraume's exact origins are unknown, they have clearly spent most of their life by Ryomen Sukuna's side. An impossible task that definitely speaks for itself at how powerful Uraume was as a Jujutsu sorcerer, even before taking on their 1,000-year plan to resurrect Sukuna. It's specified that Uraume was only left alive when encountering Sukuna because they are such an excellent cook. No surprises here, as we've seen with the way that the King of Curses treated Hana Karusu. Sukuna is no stranger to cannibalism, and methods of preparing human cuisine is definitely a much more niche area of expertise. It would also require a very detailed way of keeping the remains chilled to ensure not a single piece goes to waste. Whether Uraume, being born with her ice manipulation curse technique, was always a devious individual with plenty of experience in black markets of that nature, one thing's for sure, Uraume's potential as a chef, including what seems to be undying loyalty and respect, is what gained them allowance to stand by Sukuna's side. But realistically, there's no doubt in my mind that Uraume had to have impressed Sukuna with their strength and efficiency in using their innate technique as well. If the king merely needed a chef to prepare a good meal or a special freezer, I'm sure there's plenty of other good options he could have chosen. We see even in the early years of Yorozu's flashback when Sukuna was in his prime, worshipped as a local god by the villages surrounding the Heian capital, Uraume is the only one allowed to walk alongside the King of Curses, even acting as a bodyguard to such nuisances like love-crazed Yorozu. And although on their first meeting, it's clear Sukuna was the one who deals the finishing blow, Uraume makes enough of a threat to make Yorozu back up immediately. The reason for this is Uraume's massive cursed energy stock, on par with almost the 4 modern special grades level. The young chef is able to assert their dominance and aura in every instance of them appearing, whether it be telling Yorozu to back off or appearing on the battlefield during a critical moment and drawing all attention to themselves. Uraume's presence alone is enough to bring all eyes to the coming ice storm. This large cursed energy stock is displayed by their ultimate manipulation of their innate technique. On such a high level of ice manipulation, Uraume is capable of conjuring entire diamond dusts out of thin air, as well as being capable of more minimal use like making more precise attacks, as to show the true level of control they have over their ability. In their first display of power, Uraume halts Choso's attacks on Kenjaku at the end of the Shibuya incident, not only displaying a quick agility and being able to come to Kenjaku's side before Choso can take another step, Uraume is also fast enough to react and block Choso's piercing blood with the correct amount of reinforcement necessary to take little damage. And after being tired of the peanut gallery, using an ability called Ice Formation, Uraume's breath appears visible and chilling icy winds emanate from their body, now able to control this blizzard to varying degrees, in this instance enough to completely dismantle a half a dozen sorcerers in moments using the ability named Frostcom. 3 of these characters are high grade 1 level warriors, being Atsuya Kusakabe, Itadori Yuji, and Death Painting Choso. To be completely honest here, the one saving grace they all had is, ironically enough, Kenjaku, as he instructs the ruthless and cold-blooded Uraume not to follow through on executing all of them there on the spot. Uraume's jaded attitude to stealing the lives of multiple teenagers and unknown nuisances is proof of their growing up in the Heian era. Their second ability, shown in this small sequence called Icefall, is a lot more offensive than stalling, as this forms multiple different spikes that are conjured from ice, controlled telekinetically, and are flung towards their opponent in a storm flurry. At this point, even Itadori Yuji, the person she's supposedly trying to keep alive, alive in this attack, thinks he's about to fucking die if Yuko Tsukumo and her curse technique's ability to defy concepts didn't show up and dismantle the technique. Although, it's questionable if even special grade threats can be considered superior to the Hand of the King. As shown at maximum output, Frostcom can incapacitate a fully awakened and comparable to Toji Fushiguro Maki Zenin, with again, little tax on their cursed energy reserves. Itadori Yuji was able to break out of his ice cage, but again, he's specifically given a weaker cursed energy output in case Sukuna requires his body still. Sukuna even claims that he loves this view, implying he's watched Uraume dispatch entire battlefields with this maximum technique before. The Heian era required sorcerers to burn everything in their path and carve a way of merciless violence. It's the reason Uraume Sukuna is so hedonistic, the reason Yorozu burns villages down in celebration of blossoming romance, and why Uraume isn't disturbed at all by freezing and preparing multiple dead beings from the King of Curses to ingest and grow stronger. Uraume's knowledge of the evil ritual known as the Bath that involves specially encasing cursed spirits in ice and chopping them up in specific ways to properly create a liquid that drowns the subject in just showing the clear, much darker aspect of Jujutsu that Uraume is aware of and has knowledge in. As for Uraume to survive all these years, it's unknown if this was concurrently or if they were turned into a cursed object and revived at a later date. Either way, Uraume is awake much before any of the other Culling game players. Sukuna does not even recognize them at first, despite them maintaining their original visage. But getting back on focus, the one thing that's clear to have rubbed off on Uraume after all those years of bloodlust and slaughter, and that's the durability of a veteran warrior. Anyone that can survive a hit from Satoru Gojo deserves the props. But seriously, not only is Uraume capable of reverse curse technique to heal, something that not many sorcerers are capable of in the modern era, they are also shown to be able to take a lot of damage with little to no impact on their stamina. Uraume takes the brunt force of Choso's piercing blood with their bare hands, and also very easily deflects Momo Nishimiya's wind scythe that, despite Momo's low rank, should for all intents and purposes leave a mark on a foe that uses their mere fingers against razor-edged wind. While Uraume does indeed lose composure and cursed energy focus after suffering damage from Choso's poison, this is to be expected. It was even theorized to affect a high-level sorcerer like Kenjaku had the anomaly not been using a Kamo clan specific vessel to fight Choso with, especially considering almost all sorcerers with reverse curse technique are unable to regenerate at such an advanced level they can differentiate between toxins in their body and other cells. The only person seen to be capable of such a crazy feat is Hakari Kinji, and conveniently enough, that's who Uraume's opponent will be while Kashimo fights Sukuna. I'm of firm belief any person that's going to be able to stand at Sukuna's side over the choice of Yorozu, who even offered to replace Uraume, a 1,000-year-old sorcerer who almost slaughtered half a dozen people at Shibuya if they weren't holding back, and a character that immediately pulled up to Kashimo, a sorcerer that has now officially been recognized as strong by Sukuna without really any second thoughts. Whether their opponent was Hakari or Kashimo, I think it would have been a very evenly matched up fight against Uraume. But as we come to the end of this video, what do you think about Uraume's power level? Special grade level? Fodder? Leave a comment down below on your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this discussion, hit me with a like button. Subscribe if you want more content like this, and most importantly, thank you for making it to the end of this video and watching. Check an end screen video if you want to continue your binge, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.